In this video help tutorial, we're going to be covering the app menu and the different screens that are covered in it. We'll be stopping at some screens and then creating another video for some of the more major screens. In this one, we're going to be talking about the technical support data, the support list, the technical support portal. Then we're going to stop and then come back with another video for the support inventory. One of the things I want you to keep in mind is that we create data and new records in these screens, and there are some ancillary screens down here that'll have maybe a report or some other things that are involved with them, but we're going to be covering them more in depth because, for example, the support inventory has its own separate information that it's using based on the screens you created over here. So let's go down and we're going to start this one. We're going to in technical data. We're going to go look at the list view and explain how that is used. Okay, what happens in this screen, the technical support list view, is it will list the client, the support data, and the product supported, and the company as far as the company client information. Now, the reason for doing this particular application screen, list views list all the different records, the main records, and the lookup for these, or the particular thing we do with a find. Say we go over to the find and we start a find. What'll happen is it'll reverse the screen so that you can go ahead and pick things. Now, in different screens, you can get things that are drop downs like the date, and the products in the product support and the client data has not got the drop downs. So what you're going to be able to do is add any of the information that is supported in the thing that you're looking for in the find. So for example, if I wanted client data and I put in let's say I'm going to put in Rob. There's not really a person like that, but I want to show you what happens. If I go over here and I say perform the find, you're going to get this particular dialog. It says no records match the find criteria. You can go back in and you can modify it and then change it to something that is actually in there, and then do your search again. You can also go in and pick a date and a field over here, or any of the ones here, and add them to the find to make it more comprehensive as far as the lookup is concerned. Typically, if you're looking for a date field, it's all the related records for that particular date. Say, for example, you created 6 new clients in one day, and then you wanted to go back and find those clients that were created. You could put in the date, and then that would bring up the client information. I'm just going to throw the 16th in there just to see what it does when I go ahead and say perform the find. And it says none. You can cancel, and it would bring back up the data that's actually there if you want to go look through or figure out what you want. For example, if I wanted Alan Green, you can see that was April the 8th, 2014. Well, that's kind of a bogus date for this thing. One of the other things I'm going to point out in this thing is that you do have the ID at the edge of the screen, which you can also use in a find. It's not a part of what would be printed, but if you wanted to use that, you can also use it by that. The tech ID is the primary record for different jobs that you're doing. For example, you may have Alan Green in there twice for different days, for different projects that you did for him, and it will have a different tech ID on it. These are sequential so that as you add new client records as far as technical support, it will give them a unique ID for each one of those records, and they will change as you add another one. So if I added Alan Green at a later date, the tech ID would be for the later date, and that would be the date that I worked and the product supported. So you'd be able to look for and find that particular thing in a search. So if I did Alan Green, and that's who I'm working with, it would show all the records where he had technical support. Same thing with Harry Smith and all the other clients that you're creating. Okay, obviously you would do the find, and for example, in this case, if I put Alan now in there, you know what's going to happen. Now, you notice I did not capitalize or anything on this particular one I'm looking for. I'm just typing in Alan. I don't even have to put his last name. I'm going to go ahead and say perform the find, and it's going to bring up Alan Green. So this is how finds work throughout all the list views. You use particular data that has drop downs or information that you're looking for, or maybe the technical ID in this particular case. So that would be what this is done. Let's go on next to the next screen that we're looking at, and that would be the technical support portal. Now the technical support portal is used, you can also do a find in here if you're looking for a specific client, Or you can drop down over here and you can see the technical ID again. In this particular case, the tech name that did the work in tech ID number 1, there were 2 techs that worked on that job. Now watch what happens. If you watch that I have John Smith here and John Smith here is the tech, if I click on Ed Jones, it's going to change to Ed Jones that did also tech work in Tech 1 record ID. And then all the supporting information to be in here plus the image. And of course I can always jump back to the technical data main screen from here and then use that to go ahead and find the other information that is related to that technical ID. Or I can check for support list if I want to look for somebody in all the records, or I can use this to go ahead and find it from there here too. The next one we're going to be doing is the support inventory, and that will be a new video for the support inventory, and we'll explain the screens related to that. Thank you.